Hey guys, this is Chris Kermis and I'm in Isfahan. Now if you saw my last video, you'll know that I basically spent the whole of yesterday in and around the main square. Had some incredible experiences there. Oh, what an incredible place. But today, it's time to see a little more of this city. So come with me today and join me on this video. Isfahan, so much more than that big square. So after a day of walking around the main square area yesterday, we're back in the car. I'm going to head north in the city a little bit to see the Jameh Mosque. So we just come out towards the Jameh Mosque and we've started the Imam Ali Square. So in Isfahan, they wanted to build a second square similar to the main one. And it certainly has a lot of similarities to the main square. You get the same sort of style of buildings, then the mountains in the background. Certainly looks beautiful. If it wasn't for the grandeur of the main square here, then this would be really, really impressive in its own right. So this is a much more traditional bazaar than the one by the main square. You've got a lot more practical shopping here. It's supposedly quite a quiet time at the moment. We've still got a whole bunch of people here, quite some atmosphere.
Want to see Tashka? So, try this one.
What, eat it?
It's a whey.
This is whey?
Yeah, this is whey. Is it sour?
Yeah. It's sour, it's cheesy, it's kind of like gone off milk. I can't say I'd eat this regularly, to be perfectly honest, but it's kind of interesting to try. And I step out of the labyrinth passageways of the bazaar into this little courtyard here, and this is the entrance to the Jameh Mosque. The two often go side by side. You often find bazaars around the mosques and vice versa. So the Jameh Mosque, if you haven't seen my previous videos, is usually the biggest mosque in any city. It's a special mosque dedicated to the Friday prayers. So this mosque is actually a fine example of Islamic history and development over time. It started its life as a Zoroastrian fire temple, and then after the Arab invasion and the conversion of the country to Islam, became a mosque. For around 200 years, it was still in the same format and direction as the old fire temple, and so Muslims here were effectively praying in the wrong direction, not the direction of Mecca. So after that 200 years, then it was actually converted. The whole main building was moved to the direction of Mecca with the mihrab in the correct place. And over the years, it's just developed and become bigger and bigger and bigger to what we see now. And you come out of this side of the bazaar and you actually see the second dome, the one that's under renovation there, the perfect dome. Since we've been in the Jameh Mosque, the bazaar has got significantly busier. It's a sea of life here. Quite hard getting through the people at some places. This section of the bazaar, it seems to be very, very much clothes. It's all just clothes down here. Okay, we're going to head out of the bazaar now. We're going to head back south and we're going to explore Isfahan's amazing bridges. And one thing Isfahan is known for, other than its massive, massive square, is its incredible bridges. And this is one of them, O Se Pol. Unfortunately, the river has dried up at the moment. It's really a shame to see the riverbed like this, but from what I understand it, there's a dam upriver. And if there's not enough rainfall, then the dam will just be shut, so there'll never be water here. There we go, just walked across the end of the bridge to the south side here. We've actually got a bunch of sheep and goats down on the riverbed there. It seems kind of strange that a shepherd would bring his flock here. Now we're going to go off to the Vank Church. So the neighbourhood I'm in now is called Jolfa. This is south of the river, and this is actually a very affluent neighbourhood, one of the better parts of the city nowadays. But it didn't always used to be that way. So the story of this neighbourhood, it's always been an Armenian neighbourhood ever since the king of the Safavid dynasty relocated the Armenians from a town called Jolfa by the border of Azerbaijan, firstly as a way to control them, but secondly as a way to bring money to Isfahan. Times have really changed and it really shows here now. Beautiful tree-lined boulevards, clearly nice shops. It's an affluent neighbourhood. But it still remains with a lot of Armenian churches, Christian churches here, and still an active Armenian community, but now living in one of the best parts of the city. And everywhere I go in this neighborhood, I see these Armenian churches all around. It looks like a mosque initially, you see the dome like a mosque, but then you see a Christian cross on top. So in a fancy neighborhood like this, where normally you would have the old school tea houses and coffee shops, now we've got the more fancy hipster style places. It feels very, very different side of Iran here. I'd have to pinch myself to remind myself what country I'm in being here. The music kind of gives it away a little bit, but still, it feels very, very different. It feels much more kind of Western European almost in terms of style here. Okay, hipster coffee done. Now the Vank Church should be open, so let's go check this out. And here in the courtyard of this beautiful cathedral, we see a memorial to the 1.5 million Armenian people who were killed in the genocide by the Ottoman Empire. Stepping into the cathedral itself is just incredible. You've got these amazing frescoes throughout with such strange artwork there. You've got depictions there of Judgment Day with images of hell, with images of paradise, with Jesus above. You have everything going on in this bizarre, vivid artwork. And what you see here as well is it's absolutely packed full of local tourists, full of local Iranian people looking to see something so completely different to here. You go in your average mosque, of course, and there's no depiction of figures. It's all based on geometry, on verses from the Quran. And then you go in here and you see this bizarre artwork and figures and idols. It's completely the opposite. I can see exactly why local people are so fascinated to see this. So I'm going to continue the Armenian church binge right now by going to the Bethlehem Church. So this is the courtyard outside the Bethlehem Church. Beautifully, beautifully done artwork in there, but the same sort of subject matter as in the Vank Church. You've got images of the Last Supper, you've got images of Judgment Day with Jesus in the middle, tortured souls in hell, and then happy souls in heaven and paradise. It's a lot more kind of gilded and golden along with the artwork in there than the Vank Church was, but just beautiful in its own right in a very different way. And just like with the Vank Church, there's a very distinctive mosque-like look to the place. The only thing that could possibly tell it apart is the fact that on the dome there's a cross. And what's the reason for this? Well, both had Islamic architects, so they were designed in the same way as a mosque, and then a cross was put on top. So, having explored the Jolfa neighborhood, we're going to hop back the other side of the river and we're going to go to the Abbasi hotel. So this was built on a former caravanserai and it's supposed to be quite spectacular. So this is the courtyard of the Abbasi hotel now. You can see its former roots as a caravanserai. This big open square in the middle surrounded by the buildings. Nowadays it's this beautiful central courtyard space of this rather fancy hotel. But now it's time to head back to the main square of Isfahan. There we go, back on Havez Street, heading up to the main square. It's lovely exploring the other districts, getting a taste for what it's like outside of this part of Isfahan. But this part is still the best. So let's finish my time for today here and also my time for Isfahan here. And it is such a pleasure being back here. The square just looks magical as the sun starts going down, shining this lovely light on the buildings around and the domes of the beautiful mosques here. Okay, so I've actually come back for dinner at the same place we had lunch yesterday. So I ordered a dish called Gheymeh Bodemjan, which is lamb, chickpeas, aubergine, and a tomato sauce slowly simmered, served with rice. Sounds pretty amazing to me, and I'm really keen to try this. The thing that strikes me first is there's actually chips on top. Supposedly that's a normal thing, though. And to be honest, I'm not complaining. It's going to be quite tasty, particularly dipped in this lovely tomato sauce by the looks of it. So we got the aubergine right here amongst the chickpeas and sauce. There's some nice chunks of lamb in there as well. Of course, the chips here. Pretty simple but effective by the looks of things. So let's try one of these delicious looking chunks of lamb. Oh wow. Oh wow. That just falls apart in your mouth. That completely it just dissolves instantly. You don't even have to chew. This lovely tomato sauce, the nice kind of thicker crunch of the chickpeas almost. I actually thought I was just going for a bite of the aubergine there. But it was just a little tiny bit of aubergine, then there was a nice chunk of lamb below and it blew my mind. Okay, let's try again for a bite of aubergine. Oh, that's a big chunk of aubergine. This could be messy. Just like I knew it would, the aubergine just soaks up the flavour of the sauce, just soaking it into this tasty, tasty deliciousness that just dissolves into your mouth. Wow. Wow, that's brilliant. I've not even tried any of the rice yet. Okay guys, and with that delicious food, it's time for me to wave goodbye to Isfahan. It's been incredible here, but tomorrow morning I'm off to Emarat. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't be shy with that thumbs up button. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. And please subscribe if you haven't already. There's plenty more content coming from Iran. See you next time, guys.